Okay, starting Monday and for the next 30 days, most people in Harris County, including the city of Houston, will have to cover their faces in public. Judge Hidalgo's order requires those 10 years and older to cover their mouth and nose outside the home. Now, you're exempt when you're exercising, eating or drinking alone in a separate space, at home with roommates or family. There's also an exception when wearing that covering would risk either security or your mental or physical health. Essential businesses must also provide face coverings and training to workers who interact with colleagues or the public.
Face coverings are not a substitute for social distancing, so we still have to continue to keep that distance from one another. And we are still under a stay home, work safe order. So we should not be out unless absolutely necessary. And if we do this, we will get that curve down to where it needs to be, to where we can actually begin reopening things and do so in a way that is sustainable.
And breaking this new rule starting Monday could mean a fine of up to $1,000. Houston's police union president called the measure draconian and said though he supports wearing masks in public, the union is reminding its officers they have the discretion with enforcement. The face covering mandate only impacts Harris County. Galveston, Brazoria, and Montgomery counties have already publicly said that they are not ordering the same requirement.